Hello, you are tuning in to the Black Political Buzz Network. My name is Laurel. I am the host, vlogger, and blogger of the Black Political Buzz Network. And today's topic is entitled Joe Scarborough versus Baltimore Police Brutality Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Once again, the topic of today's vlog is entitled Joe Scarborough versus Baltimore Police Brutality Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. On Monday morning's Morning Joe show, which is hosted on the MSNBC network, there was a in-depth discussion regarding the recent charges that were filed against 6 Baltimore police officers who were responsible and negligent in their actions towards Freddie Gray, a young black man named Freddie Gray, age 25, who was murdered while in police custody. Now, I could have said simply died while in police custody, but just to say that would imply that he died due to natural causes. He did not die. Freddie Gray did not die while in police custody due to natural causes. There was negligence that which led to his death, which is considered to be a homicide. And so therefore, he didn't just have a regular death, he was murdered. There was a homicide that occurred. Freddie Gray, age 25, was illegally stopped by Baltimore police officers. 6 of them were responsible for his murder. He was illegally stopped by Baltimore police on April 12th, 2015, illegally detained by Baltimore police on April 12th, 2015, and he died while in police custody April 12th, 2015. Even though his death was not pronounced until April 19th, 2015, he was already dead. Okay? I mean, really. But anyway, there were 6 police officers, 3 of them white, 3 of them black, who were responsible for this young man's death. So there was an in-depth discussion Monday morning on the Morning Joe show, which is hosted on the MSNBC network, and the 2 shows lead host Joe Scarborough, who is a former U.S. Congress member of Congress. He's a Republican. At least he says he is anyway. I don't know what he really is, but he says he's a Republican. You know, who represented the certain districts in Florida, in the state of Florida. He still lives in Florida. But anyway, he's from Florida. Represented certain districts in Florida as a U.S. congressman, a registered Republican, and now he's one of the hosts of the Morning Joe show on MSNBC. And his co-host is a woman, and her name is Mika Brezinski. Once again, Joe Scarborough's co-host, her name is Mika Brezinski. Mika Brezinski's father is a very well-known, renowned foreign policy expert and one of President Obama's advisors. Now, he may not, Mika Brezinski's father may not work. While it's true that her father may not actually be on staff at the White House, he is one of President Obama's foreign policy advisors. President Obama really looks up to this man and listens to him when it relates to foreign policy matters. Okay? All right. Anyway, there was deep, in-depth discussion regarding the recent charges of manslaughter and second-degree murder that were filed against 6 Baltimore police officers who were responsible for Freddie Gray's murder. 3 white officers, 3 black officers. Okay? So while they were discussing this situation, this case, there was a guest that they had on the show who was involved with the defense and the trial of a murder that took place by the NYPD in 1999 regarding a man named Abner Diallo. I think his name was either Abner Diallo or Amadou Diallo. I think his name was Amadou Diallo. He was a 22-year-old immigrant from Guinea, and he was shot up. I mean, just shot to hell by several NYPD officers. Okay, and this man was unarmed, an unarmed black man, age 25, an immigrant from Guinea. Now, there was a settlement involved in the case. The family settled for $3 million, but that didn't bring back their son and their brother, So anyway, his murder occurred at the hands of several NYPD officers. Okay. Now, one of the attorneys that was involved in that case was on the Morning Joe show, and he stated to Joe Scarborough and Mika Brezinski that Marilyn Mosby, the Maryland state prosecutor who found probable cause to file charges of manslaughter and second-degree murder against these 6 Baltimore police officers responsible for Freddie Gray's death. The attorney who was involved in the Amadou Diallo case said that she must find beyond a reasonable doubt, that these 6 police officers, from Baltimore, that they were responsible for Freddie Gray's murder, death/murder, all right? Now, the reason why I listed the phrase beyond a reasonable doubt in my title is because whenever there's a black man or woman killed in America, especially at the hands of police officers, especially if there are white officers involved, it's always beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, if it's a black person, if it's a black man, especially a black man, or a black woman, but especially a black man or a black boy, if it's a black individual, a black citizen, there is no beyond reasonable doubt. It's just you're guilty. You're not innocent until proven guilty. If you're black in America, you're guilty until proven innocent. But if you're white, or there's anyone involved in a homicide who is white, they're innocent until proven guilty, and then the jury must find them beyond a reasonable doubt guilty. But now, if you're black, there can be mistaken identity. There can be no evidence or no real evidence, no DNA, no nothing. You're just guilty. And you're going to go to jail, or you're going to receive the death penalty. So the reason why I'm speaking on this, because it appears as though the mainstream media, including the Morning Joe show with Joe Scarborough, Mika Brezinski, she's kind of naive. She's a very intelligent woman. Her dad is a foreign policy expert, from Europe, who President Obama listens to, But Mika Brezinski is naive. She's very intelligent. She's not dumb by any stretch of the imagination. But she's naive when it comes to certain matters dealing with race. But Joe Scarborough is not naive. He is a Florida redneck. Yeah, Florida redneck. And I'm sure that he knows it. He was sitting on the show talking about there is no more money that needs to go to the poor citizens of Baltimore. So I guess he wants them to have chicken bones. So in order to establish after-school programs for at-risk minority youth in Baltimore, you can just do that with chicken bones. In order to help the black men and youth in Baltimore, become employed at summer jobs or part-time jobs or any kind of employment. Okay, you don't need any money, no funding, just use chicken bones. Okay, in order to fight gangs and so forth, and just wipe out all that negativity in the community of West Baltimore where the poor people live at. You don't need funding. You don't need money. Just give them some chicken bones. Let them use chicken bones to do anything constructive that needs to be done. Anything positive that's needed in the poor neighborhoods of Baltimore. They don't need funding or money or grants. They just need chicken bones because they're black, poor people. All right. So chicken bones, let them take chicken bones and make money out of it. That's Joe Scarborough's philosophy for helping the poor people in Baltimore. And he is so against these 6 police officers that killed Freddie Gray. He is so against them being charged with any type of crime. He's trying to build up a case to help these officers be acquitted, just as George Zimmerman was with Trayvon Martin. I repeat, it appears as if Joe Scarborough on the Morning Joe show is trying to help or trying to build a public case. He's trying to build a public case in which these 6 police officers will be acquitted, just as George Zimmerman was acquitted in the Trayvon Martin case. Beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a phrase that white people love to use. They love to use that phrase to place doubt in the minds of the viewers, in the minds of possible jurors who may be on the grand jury, a panel, or in a courtroom trial. You keep saying beyond a reasonable doubt. Why is it that if it's a black person that's killed, if the person that killed them is white, there has to be beyond a reasonable doubt to find them guilty of a crime? But if they're black, oh, you're black, so you did it. You're guilty. You're going to jail, or you're going to go to death row. That's wrong. That's wrong. Joe Scarborough is a former United States Congressman. It doesn't matter what his party is. It doesn't matter if he's a Democrat or a Republican. He's still a former U.S. Congressman. He knows the Constitution of this country. All men are created equal. Everyone has the right to defense, even the guilty or even the suspected guilty. But yet, when it comes to black people, especially black men, that's not the case. And I think it's wrong for Joe Scarborough to sit up on that show and build a case to assist those 6 officers as if they had rights, but Freddie Gray did not. Now, I'm going to speak more on this issue moving forward, but I wanted to definitely address that because I'm so tired of that phrase being thrown out there, beyond a reasonable doubt, when there's a black person whose life is been destroyed and been taken. But if it's a white person and a black person is involved, they're guilty. That's it. They're guilty. Thank you for tuning in to the Black Political Buzz Network. My name is Laurel, and we'll talk again at another time. God bless you and goodbye.